Hey everybody, my name is Sean Foster. I'm the creator of the PXG Elements plugins. Today I'm going to walk through how to use Planet X Generator's PXG Planet object. Okay, and um, PXG Planet is a free plugin that comes with PXG Elements, and it's actually kind of the core of PXG Elements. Because when you download PXG Planet, you're also going to get the Unlock PXG Elements plugin. And you can see up here where my mouse is that I've taken them out of the plugins menu and I put them up here to show you what you get with PXG Planet. Okay, so um, in order to add PXG Planet to the scene, you could either go up to your plugins menu and go to the PXG Elements menu, or if you've done what I've done and you've made it into a toolbar, you could just click on it here. Now the reason I'm not going into my plugins menu is because I have other PXG elements that I'm developing right now that I will be releasing in the future, and I just don't really want to give away the surprise just yet. So I'm going to add my PXG Planet right here. So you click on it, and you can see that when I loaded it, it didn't seem to take very long to load. But you will find that the first time you load it when you've opened Cinema 4D, it will take a second. Because it has to load all of the different materials and textures that go along with the planet. So the first time you add it, if it's taking a few seconds to load, don't panic, just give it a few seconds, it'll get there. Um, Now I'm going to go tab by tab and talk about the different features. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up into different videos. So the first video I'll just talk about the general tab, and then the second video surface, and then clouds, and then atmosphere, so that you don't have to watch an entire like 40-minute video on how to use Planet X Generator. You can instead just choose which part you want to learn about. So the first tab I'm going to talk about is the General tab. So if you click on the General tab, you can see that you don't have a lot of options under the General tab, but some of these options are extremely important when helping you to build your planet. So let's talk about the very top up here first. This is the preset options. Okay. Now you have load preset, you have save preset, and you also have this read only checkbox. Okay. Now the load preset button, if you click on that, what you get is a dialog that opens up, and it takes you to the planet's presets folder. And in this folder, you will find 11 different presets that I've made, and you can also add to this and make your own. So let's see, right now the Earth preset, if you take a look over here, sorry, my window's in the way. If you take a look there, that's what loads up initially when you start up Planet or PXG Planet. So that's the Earth preset. Let's open up the Jupiter preset. Now you will notice right away that it's a bigger planet, so the preset is bigger, and it loads up only what is necessary to create that planet. Okay, so it's not going to necessarily load up the same materials as the other one, but it is loading everything that it needed for that planet. Now, whenever I render out a planet, I always throw in a light like that. I drop it into the scene. Sorry, I'll make this a little bigger so you can see it. I drop a light into the scene, and then I just kind of pull it off to the side so that I get this shadow on the outside. And then I set the shadows to ray trace hard. Okay, and then I'll just render that out so you can see. And that's Jupiter. All right. Now you have, as I said, you have 11 different presets that I've made, so you can go in, you can pick any one you want. All right, so let's go with, the moon. I'll open up the moon, and there it is. Quick and easy. Okay, so those are all presets that you can load up. Now, let's go here. I'm going to actually load the Earth preset back up just so you can see it as I'm talking about it. And see now, it hadn't loaded it up, so it's taken a few seconds, and it looks like it's building it, and there it is. Okay, so you can see it takes a few seconds to load, but again, don't panic, it's coming. Now, that's the load preset. If you want to save a preset, let's say you've gone through all the attributes and you've changed your planet and you made it, a nice brand new looking planet, you can click on this button, which is the save preset, and type in the name and then click save, and it will save that preset for you. Now, if you chose instead to make it read only, So let's say you're going to save a preset. You can check this box right here, the read-only box, and then when you hit Save Preset, what's going to happen? The preset that you saved is going to be read-only, so you cannot overwrite it, which is very, very handy if you have a habit of overwriting or naming things the same over and over again like I do. Being able to make it read-only prevents you from being able to overwrite the work that you've saved there. Okay, so and every time when I hit that cancel button, basically this little box will pop up and say unable to write the file. And that's basically because you haven't specified a file. So it can't write to something you haven't told it to write to. So don't panic when you see this either. Okay, so those are the preset options. You can load them, you can save them, and you can make them read-only. Now, under the structure section here, this is the basic shape and size of the planet. So under planet shape, you have 4 different options. You have sphere, you have cube, you have platonic, and you have capsule. And I think in maybe future releases, I'm going to put an other on here, and you can choose whatever shape you want. But the reason I did this was I got actually a few people asking if we could have a setting to make cube planets, because there apparently is some movie or video or cartoon or something out there that has cube planets. So I thought it would just be fun for you to have the option to make different shaped planets. So you can choose between a sphere, a cube. If you take a look, your planet is now a cube, and if I render that out real quick for you, you can see now you have a cubed shaped Earth. And because I have a light in the scene, you can only see half of it, remember? Okay, so you could do whatever shape you want. I'm going to go back to the sphere. Now this right here is the radius. The radius, let me just kind of zoom back so you can see, the radius changes the size of the planet, as the name suggests. You slide it outward and you will make the planet larger, slide it inward and the planet will be smaller. Okay, so this adjusts the overall size of the planet. And as you adjust this, it adjusts not only the surface, it adjusts the clouds, the atmosphere, the lights, the rings. It makes everything larger. Okay? Now that's the radius. This setting right here, the segments, is the number of polygons that your sphere is going to have, that your planet is created out of. So if you were to reduce this way down, okay, watch as I decrease it, the number of polygons is getting lower and lower, and all of a sudden you have less detail with your planet, so it doesn't look quite as good of a sphere as the one before. So this just allows you to add a little bit more detail to your sphere to make it more rounded looking, and that gives you a little bit more control over your planet. Now you can see that this little option right here isn't really available right now. It says height and then it says capsule next to it. If you had chosen a capsule for your planet shape, this option right here would allow you to change the height of that capsule. So you can see as I decrease it, the height of my capsule is getting smaller. And if I were to, let's say, make it 1,000, the height of my capsule is much bigger. Okay? So we'll make that back to a sphere. And now down here you have rotation options. And I know that in the last Planet X generator, the rotation options were a little buggy. And I actually took a lot of time and I made sure that the rotations were working 100%. So if you have any problems with these rotations now, I would just be surprised because I put a lot of time into making sure they work. Now, the way it works is you can enable rotations, and if you have rotations enabled, all you have to do is hit play and the planet will begin to rotate. Now, you can see that when it gets here, it's going along the timeline. When it gets to 90, watch the planet, it skips back to where it started. And that's because it is entirely based on the timeline. So if you want it to continue to do rotation after rotation, you need to add keyframes in here. So let's say you put 900 frames. Now, if I take it back to the beginning and I let it go, it'll keep rotating until it gets to the end of those frames. Okay, so enabling that and adding keyframes will allow you to have continuous rotation of your planet all the way around. And now you can control the direction of your rotation. You can either go clockwise like it is now, or you can change it and go counterclockwise. and your planet can be rotating in a counterclockwise rotation. You also have control over the speed. Now, this right here is based on revolutions per minute, and it's also based on the current frames per second. So however many frames are happening in a second, this number right here will determine how many revolutions per minute you're moving. Okay, it's all kind of a formula based on those two numbers. So if you increase this, your planet will rotate faster. Now let's go extreme. Let's go 500. You can see that the planet is going out of control. Okay, it's spinning like crazy. Bring it to 100. It's spinning a little slower. So it's entirely up to you how fast you want your planet to spin. I put it at 1 revolution per minute because it kind of gives it a more dramatic, slow spinning effect. Okay, and you can also adjust the current scene's frames per second through here. And as you do this, this number, it will kind of offset how fast it's actually going. Because the more frames per second you have, the slower it's going to appear to be moving. Okay, so those are all the general tab options for PXG Planet. And in the next video, I will talk about all of the options that you have for surface. So I hope you enjoyed watching this one, and I'll see you soon.